This is your weekly trip to paradise, Louisiana style, with Gary Risponi. Paradise, Louisiana is brought to you by Circle K, Murphy Law Firm, Veterans Help Foundation, Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, Louisiana Fish Fry Products, Demco, CCA Louisiana, and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament, Louisiana State Parks, Relief Windows, Visit Baton Rouge, and by Farm Bureau Insurance.
Welcome to Paradise, Louisiana. Happy Mardi Gras. Here we are, and one of the people that are really celebrating over here in Slidell, Lost Cajun. I don't know if you ever heard about it, but people in Slidell and people in Colorado and all over the country, they know about the Lost Cajun. We're going to have a little history of the Lost Cajun here. I'm going to call him Captain Raymond Griffin. People in Lafitte and some of the famous captains down in Lafitte, some of y'all know about, some of y'all don't know about, but they're all great. Y'all know I'm there with Tofield and some of the other captains down there all the time. A captain.
Well, they call me the Lost Cajun because I left Lafitte after the spill and moved up to Colorado and got lost and couldn't find no home food. And my wife said, it's a crying shame a couple of Lost Cajuns can't get no home food up here. So I opened the first Lost Cajun in Frisco, Colorado. And now we do restaurants all over the country. We got 25 of them. But before I started doing that, I was a fishing guide down Lafitte. I used to own Griffin fishing trawlers down there and fish all for the redfish down there, fished out of Joe's Landing and fished at Tofield and Rip and CJ and Brock and Alden Bourgeois and all them boys down there. And they stayed in the fishing business and I got in the restaurant business so I can feed you.
I tell you what, you know I've been here 3 or 4 times already and talked to you about doing this and getting some of the captains down here when we're on the North Shore, everybody want to call it. We're going to come back and talk a little more history about you, but let me tell you what, we got 2 of the most famous and captains in the Pontchartrain Basin. We got Dudley Vanderbilt. We got his wife Kim here with us today too.
Wow.
And you know, I told him you were going to feed him. I used to feed the Captain Dudley. I go with him. I used to bring boudin, hoghead cheese, and a lot of stuff. So I suck up to him all the time. He always give me great information. And we got Captain Mike Gallo right now. You know, one of the best teachers around. You got some guests with you here, boys, from Cito.
I do.
And I just keep hitting on them. I want to get them part of this, but they volunteer and they do a lot with some things close to my heart. With the kids, the Wish to Fish. They've been one of the mainstays, especially over here in the New Orleans area and the North Shore. Chris and Colleen, they do a tremendous job. So thank you for inviting them and
I'm glad to hear.
Now,
I got to tell you, you said famous a second ago. Now, we all know that famous is not the right word for Dudley Dudley. That's a legend in Louisiana. That's a legend that we're all proud of in the state of Louisiana, and we're glad to have you here. I'm excited to talk to him and ask him questions. Well,
I was talking to you a while ago, and we're going to bring them on and talk mostly about the Pontchartrain and opening the spillway. So before we get off too far, just hang on. But let me tell you what my week was this week, and what we're going to try to bring you as much as we can in time allowed, but what we missed, we're going to bring it to you later, next week. Look, I had a busy week. I started with a trip to the lodge with the swamp people. Okay, Frenchy Crochet. Everybody knows him from Gibson, Louisiana. He's been on this, you know, in the last few seasons. He's been on Swamp People. Funny guy, talented guy, very fun to do. And we had Captain Casey Lombard, another young, good captain. Lloyd Landry, everybody knows Lloyd Landry from Buras, and now he's in the Lodge area. Unbelievable. Yeah, I black clouded him again. But we had a chef. There was always food. Leonard Atkins, he's a facilitator for all these people that got camps down there. And he cooks gumbos and potato salad and everything I love. It was unbelievable. Then we had the Rod and Wheel girl set that up, Wanda Stewart. So she was involved in a lot of things I had. Then after I got them over there, they got me to go to Hammond. They had another seminar, CCA, the sponsor seminar. They had Don Millay and then Captain Clinton the Armors, Captain Calvin Duvall, Bobby Miller. You talk about a young man knows about electronics and everything else. He has that place, what they call it, anchor management, right there in Ponchatoula.
I need to meet them because I'm lost when it comes to all that. That's why they call me the Lost Cajun.
Bobby Miller, and then we had the crappie psychic there, Clyde Foss. I don't have time enough. I'm going to show y'all some B-roll. But let me tell you what, I'm going to be bringing them guys on, doing trips with them so y'all can see. They're so knowledgeable. They talk good. They give great presentations. So if any of y'all out there want a presentation or you want your CCA or one of your organizations, you want a captain, just get in touch with Wanda. She put that together too. And what was strange, the guy that used to handle my account and get me in trouble with AT&T, Joe Robaldo, he retired.
Yeah.
I was so glad to see him, but I hated him. He left 3 years ago. And he opened his brewery over there in Hammond. Let me see what the name of that opening is. I forgot the name of it. Something Road, Low Road Brewery. He making beer in the ballroom. It's a tremendous deal. So I visited a lot of them things. I made a scouting trip with David and Angie Stewart. And I don't know if time to bring that to you. I had my friend George Ramader. And then the big one, and we're going to cover all of it, the Merge Center, Angling for Autism, 8th annual. We got the winners. It's unbelievable the fish were caught with all the high water. So we're going to come back. We'll be back right after this. And you see all this food while y'all gone, I'm going to snack. But we're going to come back and find the history of Mr. Griffin.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
I can't imagine a day without music. You go downtown, you can find some music. You come uptown, you can find some music. Monday night, they got music. Every night of the week, there's music somewhere. Baton Rouge is a place where it's easy to make friends, it's easy to hear some music, and it's easy to come back. We got the music, we got the food, and we got good people. So with that combination, you can't lose, right? You ever come to Louisiana?
Add sizzle to your next occasion with delicious local eats from Catering Cajun. From boils and barbecues to tailgates and turnarounds, our planners, packages, and chefs are sure to please. Catering Cajun.
For the thirsty, for those who hang out in packs, for heroes, for sidekicks, for those who see the glass half empty, for those who see it half full, for those on the right, for those on the left, for those with nicknames, for those with curves, for people that cycle, for people that recycle, for BFFs, for frenemies, for those with style, for lovers, for families, for big families, for everyone.
Welcome back to the Lost Cajun. Look, I'm going to let you talk and tell me the history one more time, a little bit quicker. You talk more than me, but, you know, how you get in all the countries, and most of these places that you're in
Right.
are tourism places. So
A lot of them are tourism places, but, you know, it all started because, unfortunately, my late wife, Linda, had cancer. And when she wanted to move to Colorado, and we got lost up there, the first one was open in Frisco, Colorado, and there's a lot of tourists up there. And what happened, people from Nashville, Tennessee, and from Amarillo, Texas, and San Antonio, Texas, and Greenville, South Carolina, they were up there on vacation, and they came in and ate the food. Well, first thing is, they didn't believe it was real Cajun food. And then they ate it and went, oh my God, we needed one of those in our hometown. Well, this thing has just really exploded off the map. We are serving our home food. And you know what? Sometimes we forget how good our home food is because we eat it every day. But then people don't get this they don't get red beans and rice and crawfish etouffee and beignets and fried shrimp, giant fried shrimp like that. So now we're franchising this thing. And I'm going to tell you, last year was a blessing. We sold 177,000 gallons of gumbo last year, nationwide. We got 25 of these things in Colorado, Texas, Tennessee, North and South Carolina. We're opening 10 more of them this year. Now, this store right here in Slidell is the first store in the state of Louisiana. See, I was a little scared. I didn't know if I wanted to come back to Louisiana and open up a Cajun restaurant.
You found out you missed this place.
I did. I missed home so bad. I moved back this last year. I'm so glad to be back with people that talk like me, that eat like me, that socialize like me. And so I'm so glad to be back home right here. I am just, and now I'm learning how to fish Lake Pontchartrain, so I'm going to be paying attention here in a little while because Lake Pontchartrain's whipping my butt right now.
But I'll tell you what, you got two of the best in here today. Let me ask you another thing when it has to do with tourism and economics. I'm going to bet you that 90% of your seafood is coming from Louisiana, all over the country.
It is. I tell you what, it's a hard thing. I call it chasing the seafood. Because, you know, certain times of year the supply is higher for, say, the oysters. Okay, sometimes it's low.
Like
the
crawfish all right now.
Crawfish, I mean, you know, it's tough.
Pound.
It's tough. So I have a company out there that chases it around, okay, and they find out where the best price is for the best quality seafood that I can buy. And, you know, then we got to get it packed, we got to get it shipped. So, I mean, we're shipping stuff to Denver, Colorado, to Nashville, Tennessee, to Greenville, South Carolina. So it's a tough thing. But here's the deal. Louisiana people know good Louisiana food. And so if you don't put the right food out there, they're going to call you out on it.
Not Louisiana people, but then people are learning about it all over the country.
They are.
You are promoting Louisiana, and that's what we're all about.
We are.
Let's go back to a captain.
Okay.
You were known. You had some of the best captains around that worked for you.
I did.
I crossed the bridge. I never fished, but I used to see Griffin's God Service.
Right.
And I'd ask Tophil, and they said, oh, yeah, that's a good friend. He'd been raised there,
yeah.
right?
Right.
So when you put all that together, you were a little bit different. You know, like Dudley and them, they got clients coming from all over the country.
Right.
I see Mike had some people the other day from South Carolina, and they want redfish. And they ain't crazy about trout as much as that. Good thing, because it's been hard to do.
That's right.
I mean, you'll hear the fishing report. Mike and Doug have been hammering them redfish while it's happening, but they're making their customers happy. Your customer was corporate people. You were putting 40 people together.
That's right.
Corporate people that have in their lodge.
That's right.
How do you accommodate them? By cooking?
Well, you know what?
Fishing?
Everything. Here's what I learned. I learned the hard way early on that I couldn't compete with the guys that had been out there for a long time, like Tophil and Alden Bourgeois and Rip Blank and CJ. I couldn't compete with them boys because they were better fishing than me. But I was a better promoter. What I would do, I'd go to all the hotels and all the conventions in New Orleans, and I'd invite them people out, and I would do an all-inclusive trip. It included their fishing, their breakfast, their lunch, the cleaning, the transportation. And so they would be here on a corporate trip, and then they would come back and they'd bring 15 or 20 people with them. And our peak time before the spill and all that stuff happened, we were doing 800 to 1,000 trips a year. We had 10 full-time guides down there working with us, and we had some of the best guides you've never heard their name before.
Who took over this when you left?
Well, you know what?
Tophil does a lot of that.
Tophil does a lot of that, you know, but my lodge would sleep 50 people.
Yeah.
And we kept all of our guides' boats right there, so it made it convenient for the guys to have all their boats on a lift right there. So I sold it to my sister and my brother-in-law. They ran it for about 2 years, and here's a great thing. A customer, a man that was fishing with us for over 7 years, came in and said, you know what? He said, I need to buy this thing. He said, because I'm spending so much money here every year, I may as well go ahead and buy it. But you know, I tell you what the big thing we did. We always respected the marshes and the bayous. We always promote Louisiana guides and Louisiana fishing. We never let these guests keep our limits. We always made sure that, you know, if they were going to keep a few fish, they kept just enough to make them happy. And you know what? I'm very blessed to have been in such a great state with such a great fishery and such good knowledgeable local guides that taught me how to do it. I'm kind of like the Ringling Brothers and Barnwell Bay. I knew how to promote it and get everybody excited and get them to come. And that's how I was successful down there. It's all corporate business. You know, I'd have Ace Hardware and Coca-Cola and Pepsi.
Yeah, don't mention Pepsi, but Coca-Cola is one of my sponsors, and I'll tell you, we're going to say, before I leave, we're going to come back with those captains right now. So they're sitting over there watching all this food. Let them come in, have a good time. But I also want to put a plug in. What you're doing right now is my good buddy, Captain KD, Chef KD, he's doing the same thing in a couple of locations right now. He's getting these lodges, he's doing them people, he's bringing a lot of corporate people in. Turnkey, food, breakfast, everything you want, captains, clean the fish. So if you're interested, y'all corporation out there, you call my buddy, KD. We'll be right back with those legendary captains here in Pontchartrain Basin.
Hi, I'm John Jackson, and you know we always say we gather our groceries out the bayou. Whether it's freshwater, saltwater, catfish, redfish, you have tons of choices when it comes to fish in Louisiana. But when I fry fish, there's only one choice, and that's Louisiana fish fry. My new favorite, the Cajun fish fry, has the perfect amount of cornmeal, corn flour, and the perfect mix of spices that really bring the heat. Hey, if you're craving Cajun, go look for the bright red bag at your local grocers. Bring home the taste of Louisiana with Louisiana Fish Fry.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. We believe you deserve a quality job.
The best part about being a member of a Touchstone Energy Cooperative is that it's your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
The perfect event calls for the perfect spread of authentic Cajun cuisine. And Catering Cajun has the planners, packages, and chefs to ensure your event is long remembered. For weddings, corporate lunches, or anything in between, give us a call.
Welcome back to paradise, especially when it comes to eating. Look, guys, look, he wants y'all to come back, and y'all fishing all the time. Y'all ready to come back?
It's a good thing he's open.
Look at this. This is when they first showed me when I come here.
Yep.
Tell me what all this tastes in here.
Here's what we do. Half the people walk in the door don't believe it's real Cajun. The other half don't believe or don't know what real Cajun food is. So what we do is we do a little sample platter with seafood gumbo, crawfish etouffee, lobster bisque, creamy style red beans, chicken and sausage jambalaya, chicken and sausage gumbo. So that way we say try it before you buy it.
I tell you what, Colleen was talking about that lobster bisque when she walked through the door. Look at that. I don't know if you could, we'll take the picture. That's unbelievable.
Right.
All right, go to work. Cook me something.
I'm going to go cook you something right now. And look, I got a voodoo pasta over there for you to try, too. You're going to like that. Y'all have fun.
Being Italian, I do love pasta. All right.
I'm Italian, too, so I'm with you.
Yeah, you half Italian. I always told you, you measure.
No, half is good.
Half is
The
good.
good half.
Another half.
Right.
Now, you know, I forgot about it. I got 2 Italians on the side of me. Boy, nothing can be better. Sicilians, this one's Sicilian.
That's true.
All right. I know y'all tired of me talking about food, but I can't help it. But some serious stuff coming up right now, and it's going to affect the people in the Pontchartrain Basin. It never seems to affect y'all, too. You, I know for sure, go find fish. I remember Dudley, I had somebody tell me the other day the fish in Pontchartrain are moving. You know, they're going on that northeast shore, ahead of that water, that clear water pushing them. I see Chad's got on the website, they're catching fish. I'm going to talk to you first. You've been fishing Pontchartrain a long, long time. This is the third time now in
4 years.
4 years, 2 years in a row that we opened the gates.
Yeah, it's you know, it affects us. We just got to move in front of the fish. They're going to come across the lake. They'll get jammed in on corners. They'll get jammed in from basically Goose Point to the corner of the causeway because the water will cut them off, and they'll have to stay in that water for a little while. We'll catch them in the canals and Eden Isles. Lake Catherine will have fish. All the little corners from Alligator Point and all. And then as the summer goes by, you got to move further and further away. You know, you cross. You know, you go back into Louisiana Marsh or you know, Proctor's Point. So you just move with the fish where they are. It costs you a little bit more to run around. I'd rather fish the bridges than any other place, but you know, you got to do what you got to do for your customers.
What about availability of bait and going from live bait to plastics?
Well, you know, normally this is when we are fishing with our plastics all this time of year. Now, as the summer goes by, you're going to have to go to live bait. The regulars trucks it in, so they have bait all the time. The bait comes down from Empire, so they'll have it even when the water turns bad and you can't catch it around here. And they'll have plenty of bait. You know, they do have a good source for getting bait in. But, you know, normally this time of year is when we want to fish with Dudleys, and we'll, you know, I normally start off in the bridges with them, or, you know, but right now, if you look at it, the South Shore's got dirty water, but it's not from the spillway, it's just from the wind.
What's your favorite colors this time of year when it's like that, transition?
Mojo mullet. I would think that's my favorite. When the water's a little bit on the dingy side, I switch it right away. That's it's like an electric blue with green. It's a little bit, I don't know, it's more of a bass type color, but you know, with a little bit of clear butter. That's my favorite, probably my favorite color of all the last few years.
Yeah, not the black cloud though.
I use the black cloud down in Venice a lot. I do like it down there. But that Mojo mullet on them, and Mike Gallo's the one that originally threw me and had me make it. So.
I want to talk to you. You know, I fished with a lot of different baits, a lot of different manufacturers, and you were the first one putting it on me. I'm going to tell you a story real quick. After the hurricane, everybody was saying it was toxic. You know, Pontchartrain was toxic. You and your other captains, y'all crossed the bridge.
Huh? Me and Hill Wagner,
but y'all crossed the bridge and y'all seen them fish was tearing the water up, you know, with a trout or redfish. Thought it was redfish, you know, so all of a sudden we had to do a show and they called me and he didn't have room for a cameraman, so I was cameraman and then dining them, but only one thing, neither one of them had baits, but that July, I made a trip with him. He gave me bags of Dudleys, all different colors. And he said they have rods. Well, we brought rods. We had a hard time putting together. They found a boat. I can't tell you, we had 70 trout within an hour and a half. We got on them trout and then went scouting. It was unbelievable. But he's an Indian giver. Guess what? I kept all the baits. He kept all the baits. I didn't have no bait, no more Dudleys, but he made up in the boat show.
I'm going to get you some more, and I'm going to get you some new colors.
Okay.
Got some new colors coming out that you're going to like.
I like to give them away to kids and everybody else. I watched this man give away, go to some people that wouldn't catch any fish under a cork at the bridges and at the rigs. And so he went, the tide was a little strong. He threw the baits in there, told them how to fish it, told them get rid of the cork, told them how to fish the bottom, and sit there and watch those people catch fish. That's very impressive. Now we're going to go to Captain Mike Gallo. Mike, there's some people that give great information on the show. I'm going to put you in the top 5, and probably number 1, because you introduced everybody to the drop shot. And I'm going to go back and ask you the same question first about all this fresh water coming from the Bonacera. Now, you fish the Biloxi Marsh a lot. You fish all over. I've seen you run. You'll run the Hopedale. You whatever it takes. You're going to catch fish. And you usually got them figured out. Like the other day, when I fished with Miss Angie and them, we were scouting, but we couldn't find them. And I stopped by you, and your party just left. And y'all were catching 18 limited redfish and a few other fish. Tell us what you're going to be looking for in the next month.
Well, I'll first pay close attention to how long the spillway is open, because that'll make a difference as to how long it takes before the water gets to us. I heard Dudley say earlier that they expect to keep it open till April. So if it's open for a month, It's going to take about 3 weeks to get here, and then the lake will probably be really dirty and dingy, like Dudley said, and we'll start really looking at those pockets and trying to stay. The North Shore seems to get the dirty and the fresh water last, so those fish will be confined up on the North Shore, and we'll be catching them in there until that water finally moves and gets the North Shore dirty as well. And then it's into Lake Bourne and Lake Catherine, and we'll follow them into those areas and keep catching them. And as time goes on, it dilutes more and more and more, but it may very well be with us until mid-May, and we'll be doing lots of fishing at the bridges, at the rigs in Lake Bourne by that time. And if we have to go further east into the Biloxi Marsh and even on the outskirts of the Biloxi Marsh, then that's where we'll go. I can tell you a real good tool to utilize during this is going to be your Lake Pontchartrain Basin Foundation website, and they have a salinity table on there, and you can sign up for their hydrocose map, and they'll send you an email about every 2 weeks, and it'll show where the salinity is. So in the summer when those fish are spawning and they need higher salinity water, I use the Lake Pontchartrain Basin website quite a bit to see where that salt water is, and it might be as far out as Fishing Smack Bay, and then that's my first stop in the morning. So I don't waste time looking for salt water and run straight to it. Then of course once you get there, you become a fisherman. You look for clean moving water with bait fish in the area and scout. Use your popping cork, use your methods of finding fish, bait jumping, and be a fisherman. Catch what you can and sort of read the fish. You know what I mean? You catch a fish that's dark in color, then you may want to use a darker lure, like the Mojo mullet that Dudley was talking about. You catch a fish and he's really light in color, you may want to switch to a lighter color bait, like opening night will do well. So you sort of read your keys and go from there.
A lot of great information always. You know, I said, you didn't invent drop shot. Now people have been fishing Toledo Bend, but you got everybody started. And people fishing the bridges now. They use Carolina rig and everything. I guess 90% of people fishing the bridges right now use drop shot with live bait or with plastics. He taught them how to do it. Dudley, I know you use it too, but you and I were catching those croakers.
You know, I don't use it as much. I'm not a big drop shot man. I like to go light sinkers though, and I like to have a long leader. So it's very similar to what he's doing. My bait's way off the bottom the way it is. You know, I'll go to a quarter-ounce sinker sometime just to make it move faster and look more like it is. And I'm just old style. I started fishing one way, Carolina rig, and I stick with the Carolina rig. And sooner or later we figure them out. So, and look, I like a sliding cork. You want to catch those trout, you want to smoke them. A sliding cork is the way to go. Fish 9 foot deep, throwing about them trussels.
There's a lot of people watching, they think you're fishing another cork, and that's why you go over there and tell them any difference. People fishing in 15 foot of water and using a popping cork. I got one more story, Dudley. You know, you're talking about fishing. No, I better not. I might bring it to you.
Story. You don't lead us on and not tell us.
I never forgot. I love your brain there.
You know, my mom used to say when I'd say I forgot, she'd say it must have been a lie.
We're talking about from the first seminars when I started 15 years ago or 16, 17 years ago, they had a seminar at ISC, and CCA was putting on, and you and a bunch of other captains, offshore captains were there. Mike Rabelais, rest his soul, was talking right before you came on. He was talking about how he fished, and he said, I'm gonna tell everybody, I don't fish live bait. You know, I do my TV show, I use plastic. He named the topwater bait, and he says, I use plastic, I use Dudley's exclusively. That was before you had the swimming baits and just the regular old Dudley. And I'm fishing, and I'll never forget when you came on to talk, and before everybody was waiting for you because Pontchartrain was giving up some big trout. But Dudley said, Mike, thank you for mentioning my bait and everything. He said, but I want to tell everybody here, I take my clients on, but what? When I'm fishing Pontchartrain and they biting on live bait, I'm gonna have the biggest croaker or the shrimp live shrimp you ever saw?
Well, the question was asked if you wanted to go out there and catch if you had one bait to choose, if you wanted to catch a trophy trout, and I told him it'd be a 6-inch, 7-inch croaker is what I'd have on my line if I'm looking for just for one thing. Now, where I want to fish with the Dudleys and plastic, and it's a little bit different. Like when we go down to Venice, you know, the bigger the bait, the better. Right. You know, I'll throw out a 9-inch croaker, and I'm not afraid to throw out a 9-inch croaker with it.
Yeah, you were that section there. I got stories about you in that section that make me nauseated. You know that first trip I made with y'all, huh? In Helicopter Bay?
Yeah, I do remember. I think
Tell me where Helicopter Bay is.
I can't tell you that. I'll have to kill you.
Yeah, you had to kill me. All right, because there ain't no such thing. Hey, right. Mike, thank you so much.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here.
What's the last tip you want to give somebody right now coming down here and fishing? You told me the other day you almost booked up. You asked me, you said, when you want to go? Come out, set it up in July or August next fall.
So let's see, you want a tip. I would say I use my phone quite a bit in looking at the Shell Beach buoy. It'll show me the tide, it'll show me which direction the wind's blowing, how strong the wind's blowing, and I can look back at the history of the wind over 24 hours and see how strong and what direction it's been blowing in. And that'll at least help me eliminate some water that I don't want to fish that I know may be dirty. So that's a pretty good tip. Get on your iPhone and download the NOAA buoys, and that'll show you. And there's buoys all across the state, so it doesn't have to be just one. But the more you use them and you go out there and see what 20-mile-an-hour wind actually is and what direction, and you'll know which water's going to get dirty, which side of the lake is dirty, which side's clean, and you can at least eliminate some bad water.
Give me that website again, the Pontchartrain Bay.
That is the Lake Pontchartrain Basin Foundation's website.
Micah, thank you. You see what he put in front of you?
He's brave.
Chalkboard oysters, and we still got gumbo. It's going to get cold. I might make him bring some more. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We got a lot of news, and I'm going to bring somebody going to help me with the news and events coming up. We're going to have somebody from Cito.
Well, the reason why I would recommend him because he's trustworthy. I mean, attention and love and respect of who you are, what you are, and the purpose why you came, he honors that. Once you're with Murphy, you got a friend.
For the thirsty, for those who hang out in packs, for heroes, for sidekicks, for those who see the glass half empty, for those who see it half full, for those on the right, for those on the left, for those with nicknames, for those with curves, for people that cycle, for people that recycle, for BFFs, for frenemies, for those with style, for lovers, for families, for big families, for everyone.
Welcome back to the Lost Cajun. Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. This lady on the right, me, Colleen Orfanello. If I did it right, that's a hard name. For Italian name, too. Also. Well, I'm full of these Italians right now. What was your maiden name?
Altman.
Look, where you come from?
Originally, New Orleans East.
Okay. Where you went to school?
St. James Major.
Well,
non-existent.
We got some good news, you know. Paradise, Louisiana, from the start, has been a wish to fish participant, and I don't know what you call it. It ain't on the board, but I am on the committee. So we work real hard, and y'all been always helping, but y'all taking on a bigger chore coming up at Cito. Tell us about this tournament coming up.
Well, on June 8th at Hopedale Marina, we're going to have the Parish Cup Redfish Championship brought to you by Cito to help the kids that wish to fish. Danica runs an amazing organization, nonprofit organization, and we want to continue to support them and do the best we can for those kids.
Y'all always have. Now, there's no advertisement, but for what y'all do, tell us about Cito, New Orleans. What do y'all do? And a lot of people, Don and a lot of people that we deal with y'all, we call it the AAA of the coast.
Absolutely right. We're very similar to AAA. CTO New Orleans is a marine assistance provider, and basically for $179 a year, members get access to full-time professional captains that are going to help them should the need arise. We service anywhere from the Mississippi State Line to the Mississippi River, lakes Maurepas, Pontchartrain, Bourne, Hopedale, Delacroix, Shell Beach area, and much more.
You know, being called a black cloud, and the many guides and friends that I've been with and had to get towed in, you know, I got to be crazy not to belong to CTO. Does it work if I'm not in my boat? Can y'all make me a special deal?
It's good for any boat you own, borrow, or rent. So, and we provide unlimited towing for members, absolutely free, on-groundings, fuel deliveries, and so much more.
Before I leave here, after we eat all this food, sign me up. We'll be right back, and I'm gonna let her sit here till I got a whole line of events coming up.
Ask me about my Tempur-Pedic.
Ask me how fast I fall asleep.
Why not talk to someone who's sleeping on the most highly recommended bed in America?
Ask me about staying asleep.
Tempur-Pedic owners are more satisfied than owners of any traditional mattress brand.
Ask me how it feels after 10 years.
Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America.
Ask about Tempur-Pedic at Olin's, where you know you always get the guaranteed low price. Olin's is the only store in Baton Rouge and Lafayette with the full line of Tempur-Pedics.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana events calendar, and a one-man shoot be coming up now. It's a little bit early if this be the last day in March. Usually shoot over there in the Denham Springs, Watson area. So they're going to be sending their brochures and everything. We'll talk more about that in the next coming weeks. The one-man shoot's a big one. It does for Tulane Hospital. Prostate cancer awareness. You're looking at a survivor right now, bladder cancer. So big deal on my calendar always. Fun shoot, unbelievable. So we could give you more of that to come up. Louisiana Sportsman Show. Everybody know what a sportsman show. You're there too,
Absolutely.
Right? Y'all
We'll
got
be
a
there.
booth?
Yes, we do.
I'm keep waiting on Tony and them send me my commercial. Tony, shame on you. You know, but I still love you. Y'all do a great job. Y'all promote Louisiana, and thank y'all for keeping these shows going. All y'all sportsmen, that's a 4-day affair coming up in the middle of this month. The Louisiana Sportsman Show, don't forget it. Tournament report. Lions and Lunkers over here on the North Shore. You know all about them guys? They fished the East River last week. They had 30 teams. They had 23 teams limited out. All the muddy water in the East Pearl. It was unbelievable how these guys found the fish. They had a warm day or whatever, but a cool front came in. The water was still warm enough from the past week. Will Moore and Barry Fallow had 12.63. Second place was Charles Dozat and Mark Moore, 12.45. Jay Breland and Matt Lee were third at 11.91. That's unbelievable. A big bass was Tim Polk and Tim Barrett with 4.37. The next tournament, put it on your calendar, March 31st, Crawford Landed. I guess you can look them up, their website or whatever, if you want to go on and fish the North Shore, fish their little circuit. They fish every month, or sometimes twice a month. The Louisiana Bass High School. The Federation, the qualifier was at Toledo Bend. Thanks to the president over there, Mr. Gene Hoover, he sent us out the winners with Ethan Cruz and Carlo Castiglione. You got it right there. You know, man, I thought I'd get that right. From Sam Houston High School, they had 17.94. Second was Dawson Andrews and Wyatt Ensminger from Central, a hometown boy where I live, 16.15. Third was Brother Martin. I thought they were talking about the school there for a second. And Grant Shake Snyder from Notre Dame High School in Crowley at 13.35 pounds. The big bass was Grant Burke from Ascension Anglers with 6.3. Incredible. 1.3, excuse me. And Sam Houston High School, congratulations. Y'all were the team winner. They had almost 40 pounds at 3 top weights. So congratulations to them. Now we're going to go to the tournament. We're going to leave this. I'm just going to name some of the big guys, and then we're going to go out and we're going to be showing the sights and sounds from the Angling for Autism tournament. Welcome to the 8th annual Merge Angling for Autism. Here we are at Balloon's Land. A little bit different than last year, but the crowd's all coming, people out. The rain done held up.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me your name and what's your position.
My name is Brandy. I'm the Communications and Events Manager.
Brandy, what's your last name?
Manjuri.
Manjuri,
Yes.
That sounds good.
It's Italian.
I seen you was very, very busy here a while ago.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people coming in
and
support.
Your merge has been in the news all year,
Yeah.
your new division.
Mm-hmm.
How much it helps like this? Y'all got a lot of things. I know y'all got galas and everything, raise money. But this has been one of y'all main things.
It really is. You know, we have 3-4 main events a year, and this is one of them. And since 2011, when the Bergerons came and said, you know, we want to do this tournament for y'all, they've raised over $300,000 for our center since 2011.
$300,000.
It's amazing. And this year, all the money is going towards our scholarship fund, so that children and families that can't access our services get a chance to come and get the therapy that they need.
Enjoyment that's come out and for my life and for everybody else is that when I first went to Mooney and he said, Alonzo, you think you can get some boats for a tournament? I said, yeah. I said, what's it for? And he told me, he said, for autism. I said, I can do more than that. I said, I'm going to try to help you raise money for this to put this on. I said, it takes money to put tournaments on. And Mooney said, that's fine. He said, but I'd like to get boats. I said, we can do that. I said, no problem. I said, I know a lot of these fishers, fish with a lot of them. I fished with some older tournament fishing from years ago. Some of them's gone now. They dig here. But the biggest enjoyment a man can get out of life is trying to help another man with children that cannot do and being able to make them come forward to what they can do for themselves, you know. And there's a blessing in there somewhere for somebody out of this. And
hey, welcome back to the conclusion. Angling for Autism. Steve Collada, kumbaya. Did a great job y'all did. Y'all come in second, but it's mighty close. And this is Mr. Delahousie.
Yes, sir.
Al Delahousie. Where you live there?
Robbery.
Okay. And Steve, you legendary.
No, not even close.
Make this real quick. I know y'all close and y'all made a long run. You said almost 60 miles?
Yep.
Yeah. You got a lot of tournaments coming up. I don't know where exactly. What was the pattern today? And when did you find the fish?
He actually found them. The pattern was grass and weightless plastic on the isolated grass ones.
Yeah. And that long run, was the water clear? When all this high water and everything,
yeah.
You said you was almost to the interstate up there north.
Yeah, it was close.
When did you find this?
Yesterday, went scout. I had found them like 2-3 weeks ago. Yesterday I checked.
Still there with all that. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Michael Buddy, you know you've been promising for years.
We're going to go.
We'll make
I'm going to take it.
Trip. That's all.
We're gonna
you
go.
scared of the black cloud?
No, I ain't scared.
Congratulations. Good friend, good fisherman. 2 plaques and a check for $5,000. Mike over there and Jerry.
Gondron.
Lojon.
Gondron.
Gondron. I got it. We got it.
Yeah.
Look, both of these guys from Royalville.
Yes, sir.
Over there in the west part of the state.
No doubt.
Where my pro drive come from.
Yeah.
That's
No
what,
doubt.
Look,
yes.
Mike, you know, it's unexpected to have that many fish with all this high water. Y'all were fishing the west, right?
Correct. We were fishing west. We were in the Lake Fawcett Point area.
Let me ask you this now. What was your pattern? What y'all caught y'all fishing?
It was a series of patterns. I funneled through 5 different baits today, with Jerry sticking on one main bait. He would go back and forth from one to another one he was fishing, and after that I just.
What a bait?
It was anything June bug color. We were fishing muddy water, and it was just a June bug color. It really didn't matter the bait.
We caught on 5 different baits.
Yeah, it was 5 different baits from. And all it is.
Worm top bait, creature bait.
It was creature baits, fish baits. I mean, it was.
Spinnerbait?
Didn't even catch. I tried to spin a bait, didn't catch on a spinnerbait.
Let me tell you this. Congratulations to y'all. Y'all did a good job. You had a tremendous field. 115 boats.
Yes, sir.
And y'all brought home the plaque and the money.
We did. And you know what?
Jerry, when y'all gonna invite me over there to South Fest?
We can invite you anytime we want, but can I tell you this? Like, I came in here like very vanilla. Like, I invited Mike like at the beginning of the week, and I just told him if I had to drive from Dry Runs in the fog, I was gonna cancel out on him. But when the tournament director opened up the landings, we decided to fish.
Very smart, very safe. I was talking to him about it. I'm gonna talk more about it on the show. We're talking about the electric media or internet. He emailed all the fishermen, 115 boats, and says, hey, we're gonna give y'all a break. High water would have kept y'all island through a long place.
I agree.
Save an hour.
I agree.
All y'all people on the west where they're coming from, they started to let people put in a saw, whatever. There had to be a public landing. Had people see y'all. The weigh-in came here.
Well, yesterday I went pre-fish in Lake Fawcett Point, and he sends me an email right before I get to the landing. He says, Jerry, I just read an email saying all landings are open within boundary. And I said, Mike, I'm not gonna believe you until I call the tournament director. I called the tournament director before I landed, and he said, yes, as long as you sign in at 4:30 at Dry Runs, you open. And that's what we did.
Great job. Congratulations, Gary, to you and Mike. Good team.
Thank you.
Don't forget, Gary at ParadiseForLouisiana.com. Anytime you want me to go, they call me the Black Cloud.
Oh, really?
Y'all can break that.
The Black Cloud.
Thank y'all. This is the winners. 2019, Hanging for Autism.
Yeah.
All the prize money and everything else went to the Merge Center, one of the fastest growing schools for kids that are struggling. Boom. You watching Paradise for Louisiana? One more time. The best sound system, the best guy on it, Mr. Jude Quibbadoo. Quibbadoo, thank you, Jude.
There's no better way to cool down this summer than with a delicious thirst-quenching Polar Pop Cup from Circle K. The Polar Pop Cup is the coolest way to beat the heat. Fill your Polar Pop Cup up with the flavors you crave in crushed or cubed ice. Nothing stays cold longer, so you can stay refreshed all day long. Stop in Circle K today for an ice-cold Polar Pop Cup. Polar Pop Cup, only at Circle K. Take it easy.
Benny's Unlimited Wash Club memberships start at $14.99 a month. Wash, rinse, and repeat every day. Join Benny's Unlimited Wash Club at one of Benny's 7 locations.
For generations, anglers from across the globe have put their trust in Abu Garcia. Because out here on the water, we know our science is your religion. Fish like a fanatic with the latest generation of Revo. Featuring up to 24 pounds of max drag. Designed for leverage and power. Built on corrosion resistance and comfort. World-class adventure awaits with Revo. Abu Garcia for life.
Fishing. It's where good stories come from. It's about good times and family and friends. It's about taking a couple home for dinner tonight and saving a few for tomorrow. It's all about that and so much more. To CCA, fishing is about enjoying today and making sure tomorrow is even better. To us, fishing comes with a responsibility for the resources we enjoy so much. If fishing means all that to you, then you belong with CCA.
Welcome to the Berkeley Abu Garcia Fishing Report. Dilly Dudley, I'm going to start with you right now. It's been a tough month.
Yeah, we just starting to pick up some trout. You know, Lake Catherine's got fish in it. You know, north side of the trestle's got a few fish in it. I'm sure Lake Bourne has a few fish in it right now. You know, this is that time of year they're sort of migrating in, which they will have to migrate out when the spillway water comes through. But, you know, it should be good the next 2 weeks or so as they get pinched on corners and where they're going to be at. And then we'll have to run a little bit. But there should be, you know, some fish in Lake Catherine.
Spots, if you don't mind. You're going to have a crowd now because when you're going to be fishing, they're going to be right there by you. But go ahead.
You know, Marquez Canal, the shoreline of Lake Catherine by Marquez Canal will be good. Unknown Pass, the shoreline from the long point and Unknown Pass all the way to the railroad bridge, to the train tracks in the back will be good. Trulu Point, you know, the whole point will be good off of them. And look, there's no rhyme or reason those fish. They're scattered all over. You just make blind throws. You catch a couple. You know, you put an anchor down, hold in there for a little while, and then you move till you catch some more. Don't stay in one spot too long. Always move. There's going to be scattered.
Speckled trout ready.
I fished Friday. I had 43 trout, and I had 3 redfish, and must have caught 20 or 30 throwback.
43 trout.
43 trout. So good for this time of year. It's a good trip.
Yeah, good deal. You know, I'm getting reports from Lake Catherine, you know, from Island Marina, Miss Angie and David. Now, we took a scouting trip, and you can see some of the places we stopped, we didn't stay long enough because people came back. Some of the captains, I got a captain, you'll probably see him at the end. Drake Morvant, one of the young captains, he had 18 fish. He was fishing redfish. He caught 1 redfish. He had caught 17 trout.
You got to move though. You know they're going to be scattered right now. They until the bait starts balling up and all. You know they're hunting just like we're hunting. And there's no rhyme or reason. Throw off the shore, drift 2 blocks off the shore. Sometimes you catch fish. So
the rocks and everything. Maybe we'll talk. This man's a rock fisherman.
He's fishing down there a little more than me, but
yeah. You know, I stopped there at your house the other day and at your camp, and you had limits of redfish and a few trout. Where are you looking to fish right now?
I had a group specifically targeting redfish. I've been fishing with that group. This is my 20th year fishing with that group of people. And so they strictly targeted redfish, and we went into the Biloxi Marsh. We got fortunate and had good days of calm weather. We could get deep into the Biloxi Marsh. We had rising tides, and we fished spinnerbaits and spoons. And we would just cover a fair amount of water, and as you're catching them, you know, part of what the captain does is sort of pay attention to where we're catching them. And then your knowledge of the marsh will help you go to where there's more areas similar to that. Now, what that code was middle of last week was secondary pockets. I would be in a pond, and there'd be a small secondary pocket off of that pond, and it might be half the size of this room, but there might be 6 or 8 redfish in it, and we may catch 3 or 4 of them before we spook them, or they know we're there and stop biting, and we'd move down the shore till we found another secondary pocket. And that was our pattern. There's literally thousands of secondary pockets in the Biloxi Marsh area. So that became our pattern, and it held for 3 days. The baits really didn't change. We fish, like I said, spinners, spoons, and every once in a while we fish a plastic worm, just like a bass fisherman would fish. That's good in the grass.
What about bass?
We caught 1 bass the whole 3 days, at least on my boat. Some of the other boats may have had some bass. It's a large group. We had 9 to 12 people out on any given day out of the 3 days that we fished. When I think of bass, if I'm going to target them, I go down towards the Mystico or up and down the Intercoastal Waterway. And same thing, the spinners and the plastic worms work very well on the bass.
That's some similar same report I'm getting from Island Marina and them. Guys, I'm trying to get some reports from the Southwest, you know. Right now, the rivers, everybody got them done. Waiting on a bite coming from Vermilion Bay, you know. But we got so many events coming up, and I'm forgetting them. You know, some of the events coming up, some of the tournaments coming up. So we'll look at the schedule, look at Joe Macalusa's column, and you can see, you know, what some of the tournaments and outings are coming. I forgot one of the big organizations I fool with is Trinity Outdoors. Trinity what I'm looking for. It's not handicap, it's disabled adventures with these disabled people. They've been doing it for years now, 10 years. They got their banquet in Scott Civic Center in Scott, Louisiana, going toward Lafayette. It's Friday night at 6 p.m. So I most likely will be there. Frenchie Crochet, the Swamp People, he was at every function I was last week. I fished with him, tremendous guy. He'll be one of the speakers, and the guests will be at that banquet over there at Scott, Louisiana. So I want to do that before I forget. Fishing, freshwater, Toledo Bend. You see where them kids, everybody catching fish in Toledo Bend right now. It's in transition. You can catch them shallow or pre-spawn. They're fishing a lot of it in mid-lake, and they're catching fish. I'm getting reports. You can go to their website and get all the reports from the latest captains. Dudley, you know, everybody got you pegged strict to saltwater, but you do a little freshwater bass fishing too.
Well, you know, before I was a saltwater fishing, I loved freshwater. I lived in eastern New Orleans, fished the bar pit ponds. You know, always thought I was going to be a professional bass tournament. You know, back then you could sell speckled trout. So when I found out that, I got away from the bass and all. But
you could make money on that.
That's right. And back then, you know, you won a tournament, you got $1,000. You know, so it's a little bit different than it is nowadays. But I love to fish bass. I've had an opportunity. I had one of my customers has a pond, and he invited me several times to go to the pond. And finally, I had the opportunity to go. And he kept talking about a big bass, and I hear it from people all the time. They say they're catching big speckled trout, and they all 5 pounds. And I go there, they 3.5 pound fish. So I'm taking it with a grain of salt. It's always alleged to me before I see it. And I get out on his pond, and I caught 11, and the smallest one was a 7.75 on a boga grip, and the biggest one was 10.50. So I'm heading back there the next few days. I'm going to give it a really good shot.
What was the best bait?
It was I just used a big spinner bait with a Mojo mullet on, and it comes back to the same thing. I love the Mojo mullet.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana. If you're in the Slaughter area, stop here. All y'all that watch our show across the country, look up Lost Cajun. And don't forget my other guys in restaurants, all the stab restaurants in the Baton Rouge area. God bless y'all. Thank y'all so much. Don't forget how lucky we are. Got Ash Wednesday coming up, and Lent, time to reflect about how lucky we are. Don't forget our soldiers and all our veterans out there. People are struggling. People are struggling to eat, starve, and look how gracious this guy is. Thank you, Dudley.
I weigh 10 pounds more.
We got it good. We got it good in Louisiana. We'll share it. Come down and enjoy.
Thank you one more time, Mr. Raymond Griffin, the Lost Cajun in Slidell, Louisiana. See y'all next week.
Paradise, Louisiana is brought to you by Circle K, Murphy Law Firm, Veterans Help Foundation, Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, Louisiana Fish Fry Products, Demco, CCA Louisiana, and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament, Louisiana State Parks, Relief Windows, Visit Baton Rouge, and by Farm Bureau Insurance.